Hi, Rama. It's week 13, day 2 of our Bible narrative reading plan. Today we're in Judges, chapters 4 and 5. In the book of Judges 4 and 5, we have the story of Deborah and Barak. Deborah and Barak. Now, as we've seen yesterday in the introduction to the book of Judges, we see that God is raising up judges to deliver his people because the people are not obeying God. They have failed in their responsibilities towards God, and God raises up a judge, but they're not always good people. Ehud yesterday was basically a CIA assassin. He was an interesting kind of person, not the one that you would look to as to be the religious leader of a people. Well, here in Judges 4 and 5, we see essentially that there's no man to be found. There is no godly leadership in Israel. And Deborah is judging. Deborah, as one of the many women mentioned in the book of Judges, women are usually presented in a better light than men in the book of Judges. The men are failing to lead, and women are having to step up because the men are failing. And Barak, whose name means lightning, seems to always be late for everything. And so Barak is tasked with leading militarily into battle, but he pleads with Deborah, would you go with me? Please, I need you to go with me, which is what Moses had asked God. And that was a good thing when Moses asked God back in the Exodus, would you go with us? But now for Barak to ask Deborah again, he's supposed to be leading and he's failing in his leadership. And then we see that they are afraid of these iron chariots, but the iron chariots really aren't the problem. The technology is not the problem. It's that they're not relying on God to lead them. And so then we have this interesting woman, Jael, who again, the women are presented in a better light than the men. Jael takes in this warrior, this opposing king. She almost treats him in a motherly way. She finds him after battle and she brings him into her tent and cares for him and covers him. And while he's sleeping, she kills him. Now again, the text just presents the story for us. We have to kind of understand, get a bigger picture of what's going on. Is this the right thing for her to do or not? But again, the big idea in the book of Judges is that the people are not trusting God, and their disobedience is bringing consequences. Part of those consequences is that they don't have good, godly leadership. Men are failing. And as we continue through the book of Judges, we see failure by men in epic proportions. The men are not leading as God has intended for them to do. And women are having to step up and lead and protect Israel during this season. And you even see here in this song, in chapter 5, it recounts what God has done. But yet we realize that this is all temporary. Even as the song ends, or the chapter ends at the end of Judges 5, and the land had rest for 40 years. Again, we see this cycle that God raises up deliverers. In this case, in chapters 4 and 5, it's Deborah and Barak working together in some sort of way, but it's only temporary. True rest only comes when the people trust Christ, when they cast their cares on Christ. Here's a summary of today's reading. For more information, go to tunemyheart.org.